Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for today, Tuesday, May 21st, the first day of Gemini. The sun has entered Gemini today. Also, on this day, our ruler, Mercury, has entered Gemini. That's probably why I'm going to begin with the king of winter himself. That's, big old Mercury. Um, but first, we'll see what else went on this day in history. There's a Capricorn moon, for anybody's interested in that. So we may see some green too, some earth and or energy of feeling or being stuck. Two planets in retrograde also right now in Capricorn, both Pluto and Saturn, its ruler, Capricorn's ruler. So we'll begin with the year 1792 when Mount Unzen on Japan's Shimabara Peninsula erupts, creating a tsunami, killing about 15,000 people. It's Japan's deadliest volcanic eruption ever. 1832 was the first Democratic National Convention. It was held in Baltimore. 1871, well, in parentheses, they have July 28th, so I'm not sure what that's about. But French regular troops attacked the Commune of Paris, and 17,000 people die. So obviously, July 28th hasn't happened yet. I don't know what that means. But supposedly on this day, French regular troops attacked the Commune of Paris, and 17,000 people die. Uh, 1927, aviator Charles Lindbergh, in the spirit of St. Louis, lands in Paris after the first solo air crossing of the Atlantic ever. 1932, after flying for 17 hours from Newfoundland, Amelia Earhart lands near Londonderry, Northern Ireland, becoming the first transatlantic solo flight by a woman. Did you know All My Children star Susan Lucci finally wins a Daytime Emmy after having been nominated 19 times? That was father playing a cool joke, huh? It was the longest period of unsuccessful nominations in television history. It occurred on this day, guess when? In the year 1999, of course, which also equals 19. Famous birthdays: Philip II, Tony Sheridan, and Jeffrey Dahmer. It's also the notorious B.I.G.'s birthday today, but I didn't expect them to have him here. Would you believe Stanislav Petrov is awarded the World Citizen Award for averting a potential nuclear war in 1983 after correctly guessing Russian early warning system at fault? It happened on this day in the year 2004. So something went off, and he was like, I think their system's broken, rather than going into a panic and shooting back at them or firing at them. Happened on this day in the year 2004. Famous weddings: 1553. Lady Jane Grey, who was only 15, later English queen for 9 days, marries Lord Guilford Dudley, 18. 1825, Prince Willem F.K. marries Louise A.W.A. of Prussia. 1944, actor Burgess Meredith, 36, weds actress Paulette Goddard, 33, at David O. Selnick's Beverly Hills home. Famous deaths: Hernando de Soto, Archibald Primrose, and Jane Addams. Jane Addams was a social worker and Nobel laureate, leader in women's suffrage and world peace, and one of the most prominent reformers of the progressive era. She helped to turn the United States to issues of concern to mothers, such as the needs of children, public health, and world peace. In 1931, she became the first American woman to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize and is recognized as the founder of the social work profession in the United States. She was born on September 6 in 1860 in Cedarville, Illinois, USA, and was a Virgo. She died on May 21st in 1935 at the age of 74. Archibald Primrose was the 5th Earl of Rosebery and a British Prime Minister. Just 15 months from 1894, which is 1304, 1111, to 1895, only rising to the post after the resignation of William Gladstone, with whom he'd been politically aligned since 1879, when he managed Gladstone's first campaign for office. Born into Scottish aristocracy, Primrose was a firm believer in the British Empire and served 2 terms as Foreign Secretary. As Prime Minister, divisions within his own party and a strong conservative opposition led to the fall of his government. He later resigned as leader of his party in 1896. He was born on May 7th in 1847 in London, England, United Kingdom, and was a Taurus. He died on May 21st in 1929 at the age of 82. Hernando de Soto was a Spanish explorer and conquistador. He led the first European expedition deep into the territory of the modern-day United States and the first documented to have crossed the Mississippi River. He was born on they don't have when he was born. They just have when he was died. When he died. And that was on May 21st in the year 1542 or 66. And the cause of death was fever. Going back up to the birthdays, Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. He committed the rape, murder, and dismemberment of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 91. He was born on May 21st in 1960 in West Allis, Wisconsin, USA. It was a rat on the Chinese zodiac, I think appropriately, and also a Gemini. He died on November 28th in 1994 at the age of 34. He was clubbed to death by a fellow inmate. Tony Sheridan was a singer and songwriter and guitarist. He was best known as an early collaborator of the Beatles. He was born on May 21st in 1940 in Norwich, United Kingdom, and was a dragon on the Chinese zodiac and a Gemini. He died on February 16th in the year 2013 at the age of 72 during heart surgery. And lastly, Philip II was the King of Spain. During Philip II's reign, Spain reached the height of its influence and power, often referred to as Spain's Golden Age. The expression, the empire on which the sun never sets, was coined during his reign to reflect the extent of his dominion, which stretched from Europe to the Americas and Asia. From 1554, which is another 6-9, I was talking about 6-9 this weekend with regard to Mary, and here's something interesting. He was also the King of Naples and Sicily, as well as the Duke of Milan, during his marriage to Queen Mary. Isn't that funny? Mary the First. And that marriage went from 1554, or again 6-9, through 1558, which is 613. Hint, hint. He also became the King of England and Ireland. He was born on May 21st in 1527, another 6-9, in Valladolid, Spain, and was a Gemini. He died on September 13th, the anniversary of Tupac's death also, in the year 1598. At the age of 71, the cause was cancer. And he was the last for today. So going to the dice, we're beginning with 29, spiritual partnership, also romantic dinner, and email. So maybe somebody gets invited to a dinner via email, and that promotes spiritual partnership. Spirit says yes. Also, cocktail. And massage. Very nice. Going to the cards again, we're beginning with the King of Winter, who's intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. And opening 2, Major Arcana card 3, the Empress. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. The King of Winter, as is the Empress, is a Gemini. possibly. King of winter can also be a Libra, so can the Empress. Empress may also be a Taurus, and the king of winter may also be an Aquarius. But yes, the Empress represents the planet Venus, and that can be Venus can be the king of winter. Mercury can be the king of winter. Both Venus and Mercury rule Gemini, and Venus also rules fellow air sign Libra, which can be the king of winter too. Empress, and Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which represents the sign of Sagittarius. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. Balance. The Prince of Winter, so the Knight of Swords now. Usually about a decision, either one that we have to make or one that we're awaiting, and something happening very, very quickly. So maybe the decision needing to be made very, very fast. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. Again, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or perhaps Mercury or Venus themselves. And the Three of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. Three of Summer can be about that, like romantic dinner or the cocktails that we might have. Might get or the invitation to a social event, the email. You may get invited out for drinks or for dinner or something, to be social with friends or loved ones in some way capacity. Maybe even a romantic interest. Could even be a reuniting of any of those old friends getting back together, ex-boyfriend showing up, ex-girlfriend showing up, you're going to hang out or whatever it is. Three of Summer, and the Princess of Winter. Logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Well, in the tarot, actually, like traditional practitioners will tell you that the knight is the Gemini. But for me, the princess or the page is the Gemini because that's the more youthful. So there could be something about two air signs, and maybe more specifically, two Geminis coming together or getting back together or something. Or maybe those two Geminis are Mercury and Venus, the Empress opposite the King of Swords. Three of Summer. And it's Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you are receiving. The Chariot is a card of victory. It is also a card of control, you being in control of yourself, your own destiny, your life, in the driver's seat, as they say. It can be something about actual driving, planes, trains, automobiles, modes of transportation, travel, movement, moving, and it can be literal or metaphoric. Chariot represents the sign of Cancer. Overall energy is Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit, which represents the sign of Virgo, also ruled by Mercury. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path of spiritual enlightenment as well, if you can. Crowning the masculine, it is the 5 of Spring. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. So this can be about conflict, and it might be the masculine himself may be conflicted, particularly with an energy of an overall energy rather of the hermit, the need to go within. So this can be about him, like an inner conflict. If it is about conflict with other people, the way I read the card, it's typically close friends and/or family. But this can also be a card about the need to take action. Take some sort of action surrounding the masculine. Ooh, it's that Nine of Winter. Remember, he had two Nines of Winter in this very placement. Was it the love reading or the general reading? I think it was the general reading. Yeah, same placement. Two Nines of Winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. So this, again, maybe him being conflicted. And so he's got all these things running, all these thoughts running through his mind, and maybe all these feelings, butterflies in his stomach, or, agita in his chest, anxiety, whatever, that's reflected by the Nine of Winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. Masculine subconscious, it is the Two of Winter. So he's got some sort of decision that he wants or feels he needs to make too. But regardless of whether he feels he needs to, it's here in this placement of his mind that he's thinking about it. He's not doing anything. He's not actually making a decision. He's sort of like hoping it'll go away, or spending too much time over analyzing, thinking about all the different scenarios in his head, driving himself crazy, upsetting himself. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. Masculine got, hit over the head with the message of following his heart this weekend between the three readings that I did. The full moon in Scorpio, the general reading, and the love reading. It just kept showing up. Crowning the feminine. The Princess of Summer. See how much more light and pleasant this is? Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone, maybe that email. Or be invited to a social event. 29, romantic dinner, right? The Princess of Summer is a Pisces, Cancer, a Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be somebody just making an offer. Could be you making some sort of offer. You may be the person inviting someone else out, or something. Or sending someone else a nice email or text or phone call. Surrounding the feminine. The Emperor, Major Arcana card 4. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. Feminine could be taking things into her own hands and, again, being the one to initiate something. As a matter of fact, this Five of Spring often represents an Emperor-ish kind of energy for me, like Mars and the need to take action, very Aries. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor does represent the planet Mars in the sign of Aries and also Scorpio, which it rules. Could be something going on with a younger Scorpio, maybe. Also, with this being a general spread. You could be something going on with your father. This may be representative of your own energy as the child to the Emperor. Boss, some sort of authority figure, government agency. But again, it's positive. So it could be like good news from a government agency, like maybe your tax refund finally showed up, it's been held up, or I don't know, SSI, child support, whatever. Could be definitely child support, with this and the Page of Cups. Feminine subconscious. Yeah, it may be money. Why did I think that? Because you feel these things. The Prince of Autumn is trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. The Prince of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And this can be from whom you're receiving an emotional message, or to whom you're receiving, you're sending an emotional message, a message of love or something like that. Um, Again, maybe could be your parent, could be your father that you're contacting. Maybe he's an air sign. Could be, um, a romantic interest that is in a. Did I say air sign? I'm in Earth. That is an Earth sign. Also, crowning. Yep, the King of Autumn. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. The King of Autumn, like the Prince, is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And again, this can be money or material coming in to either, but certainly the feminine. And again, maybe from a government agency or office, maybe something having to do with your father or the father of your child. If it's not about, romantic connection or loving connection between you and an earth sign, maybe. Or perhaps in a water sign, maybe most specifically a Scorpio. At the root. Very nice. So like from where is all this abundance coming? Here, right? Major Arcana card 10, the wheel, which represents the planet Jupiter, and the sign of Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules, also connected to the fixed sign. So Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, so this air, and Leo. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. So then this can also be money, the material, could be love, any kind of abundance this can represent. Could be a combination of those, could be all of the above coming your way today. Sudden positive change that like unsticks you if you were feeling stuck. The energy suddenly begins to move in a really awesome direction. Heart of the matter. The Four of Summer. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. So the masculine in particular isn't looking for anything good to happen to him. And so because of that, and because he's not taking action, and there's a decision that he needs to make, or something a decision he needs to act upon that he's just hoping you to go away, he can miss opportunity. It's like, oh, nothing good ever happens to me. I'm not even going to look at my lottery ticket. I didn't win. I'll just throw it in the garbage. And meanwhile, it's like a winning ticket for something, It's that sort of mindset. So that's unfortunate. But hopefully going within will help him. And feminine, let's just clarify our emperor a little more. So we may have some sort of decision to make too. Again, maybe having to do with children, with another cups or summer card showing up. And there can be a decision that has to be made on our behalf as well. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make decisions so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation, which it doesn't appear the feminine is. However, this can apply to her too, this Four of the Summer, because it's here at the heart. And it's like the most important thing today to be mindful of. All right. Further advice to the masculine. The Princess of Winter. Logical, truthful, curious, undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. So it could be Mercury, for example, that's driving the masculine crazy and making him overthink like this. The fact that Mercury has entered Gemini, he may have something to say, something to communicate that he's like wrestling with. Maybe he doesn't know how. There's fear. We saw this fear show up all weekend, and then here it is again right here in the same placement. So he's afraid of something, maybe having to do with not only an air sign, but a Gemini specifically. that he's pondering. Maybe he's got a choice to make. One sign versus the other, an earth sign versus a Gemini. Could be an earth sign, driving driving himself crazy over a Gemini, or vice versa too. Um, where it has to do with matters of the heart and stuff. And for the feminine, it's that Leo energy that kept showing up all weekend too. But again, Leo is attached to Jupiter and the energy of the wheel. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power. What this is saying, feminine, is not only do we have the ability, the strength, the wherewithal to face whatever comes our way on this day, even a decision that we have to make, but we have the ability to find it in our hearts to maybe forgive somebody, show somebody a little extra love. Because that's how we are. Really having nothing to do with them, because that's how we are. At least on this day, we're loving, compassionate people, and it's just a testament to, to our personal strength and capabilities. All right, may have something to do with a Leo. Leo could be particularly significant on this day too. Leo, Virgo, Earth sign for sure. Maybe again, most specifically Capricorn, water sign for sure. Maybe most specifically Scorpio, and air, maybe most specifically Gemini. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading. I'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.